Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this evening's talk. My name is Suan. I will be one of the sharers and also the MC. It gives me great pleasure to welcome everyone to this talk, which is entitled Bullish Beyond 2021. Yeah, a financial long-term view. Our first speaker for this evening is Dr. James Chia. James has a PhD in civil engineering and he spent many years in the construction industry. At 40, he decided to do something completely different and he turned to a career in financial planning. James has a CFP and CFA qualification and he very soon became one of the region's top financial planners, even though he had no prior experience. He also went back to school and got a master's in applied finance. James is also an outstanding soldier. He is a lieutenant colonel in the Singapore Armed Forces and he was also NS Man of the Year, National Serviceman of the Year in 1995. In our company, James is a top leader. He is a team elite and a $1 million earner. So James, without further ado, can I invite you to take over the talk, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Suan. Good evening, everyone. Really appreciate you coming here at this time of the night. I really acknowledge you because you either had to skip dinner or you've had to rush dinner. Okay, but I promise you that we will do our utmost to make this time worthwhile for you. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so this is what we'll be talking about today. Bullish Beyond 2021. Okay, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cover these 5 B's. Okay, talking about being a breadwinner, why I'm bullish, introduce a bit about this business, then talk about things beyond business, and then of course how we can begin. Okay. Now, okay, so throughout this, I'm going to be speaking from a financial planning point of view and a long-term point of view. In fact, what I share would be relevant to people in their 20s all the way to their 90s. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is being a breadwinner. Okay. At 18, okay, when I served my national service, actually I liked the army so much. I wanted to make it my career, okay? But I thought I better get a degree first as a backup, just in case something went wrong with the army. So I went to New Zealand to study civil engineering. 8 years later, at age 29, I graduated with a PhD in civil engineering. At that time, my friends advised me against joining the army. Okay? They said, I don't like to follow rules, so better not join the army. So that's when I made my first career change to be a civil engineer. Okay, so here's me as a civil engineer. Which one? It seems to me that on speaker mode is your picture that's being on the screen. Can you go and do something to adjust that? So I made my first career change to be a civil engineer. I actually joined the construction sector. Worked a whole variety of countries and projects. And at age 40, I remember I hadn't been on leave for 5 years. I was so busy, I didn't even know how much I was earning. Obviously, I had no time to plan for the future. It was classic midlife crisis. I was bored. I needed a fresh challenge. Now, also at that time, as I looked ahead, so I was about 40, okay, I looked ahead, I saw the senior general managers in my group of companies being asked to leave at about age 52. Okay, now I was 40, I said I had 10 more good years, but what would I do when I'm asked to leave at 52? So that was another reason to think about switching to a more permanent career. I said, better leave now, so I have 10 years to make this thing work, whatever new thing it was. Okay, so I switched to do something completely different. Okay, to sell life insurance. Now, at that time, you didn't need to have any qualifications to sell life insurance. You didn't even need O levels. Okay, it was what I call a level playing field. You just have to wear a tie, look respectable. Okay, today to sell insurance, you have to pass several exams. Okay, so now this was a excerpt from an article in the Prudential magazine, where he said that breaking away from contentment, James sought challenge. So what I want to say here is that for those of you who are already successful and contented, let me challenge you to do something different, just to seek challenge. Now, to everyone's surprise, I became the top agent in Prudential in my first year, and then again in my second year. As Suan said, I went back to school. I went back to NUS. I did a master's in applied finance, and then I got my CFA and CFP qualifications. Okay. Now, I had a great mentor. Okay, I had a great mentor who made financial planning very simple. Okay? And he said that the goal of financial planning is to achieve financial independence. What is financial independence? Financial independence is simply a house fully paid up plus a sum of money. Okay, so sum of money that will last till the end of your life. Okay, if you got a house fully paid up and a sum of money that will last till the end of your life, then you can retire. Okay, but I found that very few people actually succeed in achieving financial independence. Okay. In fact, at age 65, these are very old US government statistics. Okay, the situation is actually a bit worse than this. Okay? But at age 65, 36% of people are dead, 54% are dead broke, 5% are still working, and only 5% are financially independent. Of course, today, the government is saying you cannot stop work at 65 because you just don't have enough for retirement. Okay. Now, why is this so? If you look at the current reality, if you have a job, it's what I call 100% of your own effort. Okay, and that's high risk because if anything happens to you, who's going to feed your spouse? Who's going to feed your children? Who's going to feed your parents? Okay. So people have known that for some time, especially in the West. They have a little business on the side. But today, if you do a business, okay, you're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week because the internet, globalization, people know exactly what you're doing. They're copying you and you have to run to stay ahead all the time. And that's low risk. Now, that's not a very good situation to be in. Okay, as you're getting older, high risk and low risk. In fact, as you get older, you are now what we call a sandwich class. Okay, so you are in your late 40s, early 50s. Okay, and the two sides of the sandwich are your children's university education and your parents' medical bills. And your children's education, university education, if they cannot get to a place in Singapore, which is quite competitive, cannot do a course that they want, you've no choice but to send them overseas where the costs are completely different. And your parents, okay, they are now in their late 70s, 80s. It's a completely different medical situation. It's not a cough and a cold anymore. It's so serious things that are life-threatening. Okay, what about you? What about your job and your business? If you're in your late 40s, early 50s, you are endangered species. Okay, so this pool of money that you thought you will accumulate is shrinking. And how can it last 40, 50 years of retirement? So I specialized in retirement planning as a financial planner. And this is an article I picked up from Fortune magazine in 1995. Okay, let me read it to you, talking about the crisis of retirement. It's not a pretty picture. In fact, if you are already well into your 40s, have kids to put through college and have done little or nothing to get ready for retirement, your armpits should be getting damp just thinking about it. Okay. So I made a lot of money in insurance, making people's armpits damp. Okay, so I did very, very well. So why did I leave this industry? Okay, why did I leave this industry? Let me share with you how I got involved. Okay, so it was the year 2001, beginning of 2001. This gentleman, Tan Junwen, gave me a call. Okay, just a bit of a background of Junwen. Okay, Junwen grew up poor. Okay, in fact, his mother was a cleaner for the British Army. They live on Pulau Brani, and family, 8 of them, he says they share one toilet. And of course, he wanted a better life. So he went to a good school. In fact, he went to the top school in Singapore, Raffles Institution, yeah, and then studied hard and got a Singapore government scholarship. Okay. Now, at that time, when he got a scholarship, he wasn't contented. Okay, so after 4 years, they have to serve an 8-year bond, okay, with the government. But after just 4 years, he left the government service, because he wanted to make even more money outside. So he went into stockbroking. So now when he called me in 2001, he told me that, hey, this company, New Skin, had just come into Singapore and that he'd signed up to do the business. Okay. Now at that time, Junwen had been in stockbroking for maybe 14, 15 years. He was 42 years old and very, very successful because this was the house that he had built for himself with money made from stockbroking, in his early 30s. Okay. And I thought to myself, why is a guy like him doing what I thought was a housewife business, like selling Tupperware? Why is he doing this? Why does he need this extra income? Okay, I said, better find out. So when I listened to him, he told me that the person who had introduced him to this business was one of his biggest clients, an American fund manager called Robert Howe, was at that time running a $5 billion Asian fund. Now, Bob went to Yale University. He's got an MBA from Harvard. And at that time, he was president and chief investment officer for AIG in Japan. So I looked at these two gentlemen and I said, better find out why they're doing this. Okay, so to cut a long story short, I decided to follow the smart money. Okay, they were doing something that I didn't understand, but they were smart money. Let's do that. Now, the other thing I want to mention at this time is we were doing very, very well. I was doing very, very well in financial planning, and there was no need for extra income at all. Okay, in fact, I didn't really know how much we would earn for this, but I thought maybe if you could earn $2,000 a month for in retirement, that's a pretty good thing. Okay, if I don't need the money, I can always give it away and someone will want it. Okay, so the second reason why we got involved was a why not. Okay, there wasn't a strong why, but why not? Okay, what's the risk? Okay, so that's how we got involved. We asked a very important question: why not? Now, throughout this presentation, I want you to just consider actually two simple things that people think about in finances. What's the risk? What's the reward? You need to consider both. Okay, don't just think about reward without the risk. Don't just think about risk and forget about the reward. Okay, so why do network marketing? Okay, simply because we need a plan B. This first plan is pretty lousy. We need a plan B. Okay, in fact, this was a book I read when I first came into the business. It was published in the year 2000, written by an American professor called Professor Charles King. And he talked about the new professionals, the rise of network marketing as the next major profession. Now, in his preface, he says, we will show you how the old employment model is breaking apart. Only the foolish, complacent, or lazy refuse to see it and seize the opportunities to protect themselves and their families. Now, when I saw this as a protection plan, it resonated with me as an insurance person, an insurance professional. It's about protection. It was about having a plan B in case something goes wrong. Okay, so very, very clear and straightforward to me. So why do network marketing? Just simply mathematics. Okay, instead of 100% of my own effort, I'd rather earn 1% from 100 people, because with 1% from 100 people, if anything happens to me, there's 99 other people working to feed my spouse, working to feed my children, working to feed my parents. And that's what I call low risk. But of course, no one plans for anything bad to happen to them, isn't it? We think of going on leave for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And there's 99 other people working to feed my spouse, working to feed my children, working to feed my parents. It's what we call high risk. And how is this possible? Okay, simply because of the word leverage. Okay, leverage is a very, very important financial principle in life. Okay, how many of you when you live in a 23-story floor walk up 23 stories. No, you take a lift. That's using mechanical leverage. Okay, so what is leverage in this business? Okay, leverage is simply more than one. So if you look at this as a family tree, okay, as you get married, husband and wife, okay, that's leverage. Okay, you're helping each other out. Each one has got different strengths. Then you have 3 children. Okay, so in this case, from a business point of view, okay, I find 3 people who want to do the business. I teach them how to do the business. Then I help them to find 3 people. So it's 9, 27, 81, 243, 729. I get a total of 1092. Let's round it off to 1,000. Okay, so I got 1,000 partners, and let's say each partner just sells $3,000 worth of products. So can you imagine Tan Jun Wen, okay, coming into this business just selling $3,000 worth of stocks a month? Okay, very simple. 1,000 times 3,000 is 3 million. And let's say the company pays 5% commission of all the sales generated by your organization. 5% times 3 million is 150,000 US dollars a month. Now that's a lot different than 2,000 Sing dollars a month that I thought was quite useful for retirement. Okay, in fact, this is income from a solid business. And from a business point of view, it's a business that you don't require capital. It's a business where you're not paying overheads. You know, we have 50 over offices around the world. I don't have to pay the rental. I don't have to pay the staff costs. Best of all, I can do it without any experience. Okay, we can all do this without experience. We can learn on the job, and most important of all, we can do it part-time. That means you can do this while you have a plan A going. Okay, there's no other business where you can make this kind of income where you can do it part-time. So that's a tremendous opportunity. Now, if you look at Singapore, about 5-6 million people, Malaysia 30 million, China 1.4 billion, India 1.3 billion, Indonesia 250 million, and there's the rest of this world. Okay, now we can't travel physically now, but the good news is that with social media, with the internet, we are accessible. All these people are accessible to us. Now, why do I say this? Because if it's global, with so many people, your risk comes down because more people, okay? And with a bigger market, your reward goes up. Where else do you have an opportunity where risk is reduced and reward is increased? Okay. Now, what is the actual income? Okay, this is old figures, 2018 compensation in the US. Okay, over here on the right, that's a rank called a Blue Diamond Director. Okay, it's like a colonel in the army. It's not a general. It's not the highest rank, and the average income is about 50,000 Singapore dollars. Okay, now it varies. The newer Blue Diamonds, the income is lower, and those with more established, bigger organizations, some are earning as much as $1 million US a month. Okay, how many millionaires have we created? People who have earned $1 million US in commission. As at July 2020, there's over 1,600. Okay, 1,269 have earned at least $1 million, 175 have earned at least $5 million, 109 have earned at least $10 million, and 51 have earned at least $20 million US commissions from this business. Okay, no company has created as many millionaires as Nu Skin. Okay. Now, this book I wrote just 1 year after coming, after joining the network marketing industry. Okay, it's called The Financial Planner's View of MLM. I didn't know much about MLM or network marketing, but I knew a lot about financial planning, and I saw this to be a great financial plan. So, try to get a copy if you can find one. So this was my family 7 years after I joined, okay, 2008. Okay, on the right here is Chris. He was about to go to the US, where he spent 5 years studying finance and actuarial science. Daniel here, you look at his haircut, he's in the army. Okay, he later went to the US, okay, where he spent 9 years before he came back with a degree in veterinary science. Gail was about to go to Singapore Management University. Okay, and both of us, we were in our 50s at that time, with 40, 50 years of retirement ahead of us. What is our risk profile? Okay, it's what we call low risk profile. Can't afford to take risks. But it was at that moment that I walked with Nu Skin for 7 years part-time that I saw, hey, this thing can work. Okay. And it was at that precise time that I gave up my professional engineering licenses. I have a license to practice in the UK and a license to practice in Singapore, and I gave up my Singapore insurance and investment licenses. Okay, to have only one source of income, New Skin. So financially, I felt this was safe. Okay. Okay, now let me go to the second B. We've just been through a really rough year. It's still rough around the world. So why am I bullish? Okay, it just happens that this year is Chinese year, the year of the bull also. But why am I bullish? Okay, last year we were not bullish at all. We were very concerned, and so the series of these talks were titled "Lifeboats for the Storms of Life." How do we have a lifeboat that can combat the storms of life? Because there are storms of life. This last century we've had the world wars, we've had Great Depression of 1929, we've had the global financial crisis of 2008, we've had innumerable natural disasters, fires, floods, volcanic explosions, and of course just recently what we're going through now. And there will continue to be tough times ahead. Okay, there will continue to be tough times ahead. Okay. So we need a lifeboat, and I'm bullish because this particular lifeboat works. Let me share with you. Okay. So last year we had to stay at home. What are the consequences for business when you stay home? It's really devastating. I thought we were going to be in real big trouble. Okay, in the beginning of last year. But what happened to New Skin? Okay, in the first quarter, okay, remember the crisis started in February. Okay, so after 3 months, this was a report in May, our share price actually went up 28% higher instead of crashing. In quarter two, it climbed another 25%. Why? Because online orders comprise over 80% of total sales volume. So we were able to switch to move online very quickly. In quarter three, online digital transactions account for 90% of sales, and our share price went up, okay, even more. Okay. And this was a report by an analyst. I think that New Skin's underlying business remains strong despite the ongoing pandemic and economic recession. They've come out unscathed from a devastating pandemic and market crash. Okay. And this is mostly due to its organic demand, which is consistent with an entirely legitimate multi-level marketing company. And of course, quarter four, we had 28% growth in sales and 94% growth in your earnings per share. Okay, so tremendous results, and it continues to be this way. Now, overall, if you compare the performance of New Skin against the general cosmetics and toiletries market alone, okay, the general market grew 29%, ours grew 106%, okay, almost double. Okay. So this was a lifeboat that worked. In fact, to many people, this was this plan B can substitute your plan A. Forget about your plan A. Let's do this. It's safer to work at home, and you can reach more people at home. Okay. Now, I'm also bullish because the need is now greater. Let me share with you what I mean. Okay. So we've always had twin needs. Okay, we need wealth, we need money, but we need to maintain our health as well. And of course, immunity has been a big thing that we are more aware of, the how to protect our bodies, against infection. Okay. But more than that, okay, this is a very recent study, okay, by Deloitte. It's a study on 20 to 18, 20 to 28 projected growth. It says that home healthcare services, outpatient care centers, okay, it's all healthcare. Health needs are greater, okay, and in this global healthcare outlook by Deloitte, it says we are shifting from sick care, okay, to take care of the mind, spirit, and body well-being, okay, including mental issues. Okay. So it's about preventive issues now we're talking about. Okay. Now, the need is greater also because we're more aware now of uncertainties that cause job insecurity and cause stress. And so, as I said before, we need a plan B. We also need to earn extra income. Okay, that's very, very obvious to meet the cuts in salary and the additional requirements, the demands of our expenses. Okay. And flexible work arrangements become more important now, okay, because things come up when there's crisis around the world. Okay, when there's crisis in the country, you're locked down, you're open. We need flexible work arrangements. You need, you basically, the importance of being able to adapt, having flexible work life is more obvious. Okay. Now, I'm bullish also because of new opportunities. What are these new opportunities? So we know 2020 has been a year of change. Okay, some old ways have gone away and new ways have replaced. Okay, and so there are always new opportunities. The gig economy, okay, people are more used now to be freelance and independent. Okay. In fact, by 2027, they say 60% of the workforce will be independent professionals. Okay. Why would you work for a company that will fire you anytime? Okay. So working from home is going to be something that is desired and available now to mums, to retirees, to part-timers, and to students. Isn't that a huge market that's now available because people are now thinking about working from home? And with working from home, we have used now to stay at home, not just to save lives, but also to save money. And here I want to share with you that people are now getting their beauty care at home. And our company, is the world's #1 at-home beauty device company for 4 years in a row. Okay, so we've got devices that will help you be able to take care of yourselves at home. Now, lastly, I want to share with you that this investment company, Motley Fool, has called us the Apple of anti-aging companies. Why do they call us Apple of anti-aging companies? Because of our innovation. Now if Apple were to launch a new iPhone or a new product, there'll be a huge demand. Okay, you will make a lot of money if you could distribute. Okay, and so this is the effect of mega product launches. Okay, let me share with you what happened when we launched the product earlier. Okay, so this is a chart of Nu Skin in the year 2009, just after the global financial crisis. Okay, and we see that the S&P 500 has grown about 20%, recovered, but Google and Apple have outperformed the general market because it's the #1 and #2 company in the world. But this blue line here is Nu Skin. It's following Google and Apple, and that is why I followed the smart money. They knew what a good company was. But look what happened when we launched, okay, a new series of products called. I'll introduce this H-Lock series of products. Our share price outperformed even Apple and Google because they say, hey, they're going to sell a lot. Okay, that's the effect of a mega product launch. So I want to excite you with 2 mega product launches that are going to come this year and early next year. Okay, there is this liquid collagen product that obviously works so much better than the placebo you can see. And then we also have a product, okay, called Meta. It's a supplement that's going to be for anti-stress, give you more energy, you feel fitter, you feel more refreshed. And you know how stressed we are at this time. This will be a huge product. Okay, so there are 2 mega products that are going to come in, and you want to come into this business because we are giving you an opportunity to sell these products. Okay, so I want to now just go and talk specifically about what is this business of Nu Skin. Okay, we want to examine a few things. We want to look at the product. We want to look at the company. Okay, and then we want to look at the people involved and have a glimpse at the kind of lifestyle that you can have. Okay, And at this point in time, I'd like to invite Suan to come over, Suan, and share with us about the company.
Okay, thank you, James. Hi, everyone. I will be sharing my screen right now and taking you through a bit of company background and also show you some of our star products. So you heard James mentioning New Skin in the talk earlier. So yes, let me now introduce the company. You will be partnering New Skin Enterprises, which is a 36-year-old company. We are now open in 50 plus markets. In 2009, we did a turnover of US $1.3 billion. And 2018, that grew to 2.68 billion. New Skin is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. It has been listed since 1996. And Dun & Bradstreet has given us a 5A1 credit rating, which is the highest. And this means we are virtually debt-free. We are a rock-solid company. Forbes has listed us on top five most trusted company in the mid-cap category. In Singapore, we were the first direct selling company to be Case Trust certified. And this part we are all very proud because New Skin is a company with a heart. We run a corporate social responsibility program called Nourish the Children, and this won a 2007 American Business Award. In Singapore, we celebrated our 20th anniversary last year. We have been the #1 direct selling company for the last 9 years. We are in 4 big markets, nutrition and supplements, cosmeceuticals and beauty, anti-aging, weight management. I'm also pleased to say that our weight management and well-being brand is now the #1, okay, in Singapore for 3 consecutive years. And this is certified by Euromonitor International, a leading market research company. Okay, show you some testimonials now. This is Ruth. Ruth is also on this call tonight. She now lives in Perth. And when she came to the program, she was a hefty, 68.5 kg. She lost 13.2 kg. A lot of it is fat. And she looks like a brand new person, much younger after the program. Madam Zulaiha was tipping the scales at 100 kg. He'd given up hope on trying to ever lose weight. Someone told her about the precursor of TR90, which is the right approach to weight management. Well, she took it on, and to her utter delight, she lost 32.7 kg and a lot of visceral fat, or fat around the stomach. Sometimes they also call it organ fat. Madam Zulaiha looks also like a brand new woman after the weight loss, yeah, and she gained 16 more years of life. Okay, Richard, he's our friend from across the causeway, 34 years old only, but looks so old. Want to look at his transformation after he did the TR90? This is what he looked like, okay? And not just transformation in looks, 45 kg lighter, he no longer snores, his eczema went away, and he's of course in better shape with 6 packs, yeah? And he looks very, very much younger. Harold lost 7 kg and all 7 kg was fat. So the science behind this product, TR90, and the others which I'll be introducing soon, is H-Lock. H-Lock is a groundbreaking technology, and that is why it earned a place in Discovery Channel. You can't buy a slot in Discovery Channel. You've got to be a very groundbreaking kind of science or technology for Discovery Channel to want to feature you. And we were featured. Our Chief Scientific Officer, here, Dr. Joe Chang, on the bottom left, was interviewed in this program, which was first screened in 2012. So what is H-Lock and why is it so big deal? Well, our scientists have got to the root cause of aging, which is our genes. H-Lock technology of science is able to identify and then to target new gene clusters. And we were able to screen many, many ingredient blends out there using H-Lock technology to find the blends that would reverse aging or change our genes expressions, right? From that of old to young. Well, we put this science to very good use in supplement we call the Ultimate Duo. One half of it is called Y-Span or Youth Span, which supports aging defense mechanism, and R square is actually for cellular energy production and cellular purification. So we are all about helping people to live active, energetic, and healthy years. See, a normal person spends the last 10 years of his life in poor health. We want to extend not just lifespan, but youth span, right? So the goal is to be active, energetic, and healthy to the day we leave this earth. And if you look at some of these examples here, like Monica Lam, she's 71 years old, the lady on the left in red. Look at her next to her 56-year-old friend. Yeah, if I didn't tell you who is 71, who's 56, you won't be able to tell, right? John, well, he used to be bothered by very frequent flu bouts in his 70s. And he was getting all these elderly issues, which includes prostate problems, slow recovery after physical exercises, failing memory. Fortunately, his wife introduced the ultimate anti-aging duo to him, and he took it and he ended up celebrating his 80th birthday running his first 42 km marathon. And then he went on to do his first triathlon as well. He's 81 years young and enjoying healthy lifestyle. Machiko-san says, I totally believe in ultimate duo's power with my own mother's transformation. She was mentally exhausted after side effects of doctors' medications and wanted to stop all, including her own life. After 3 months of taking Ultimate Duo, all her side effects had gone, and she even started yoga at the age of 83. She'll be 90 in 10 days. I'm so grateful to New Skin products. Kim Boon, 30, in this picture, had eczema for the longest time. Just can't go away and scratch until it bleeds to get relief, right? After 3 months on Life Pack, R-Square, and Y-Span, no more eczema. Okay, so you heard James mention just now about how New Skin has been the #1 beauty device systems brand for 4 consecutive years. So now I'm going to share a little bit about the skincare devices. First up, Lumi Spa. This is a cleansing device that does more than just cleansing. You know, it removes makeup thoroughly, it reduces pore size, and it makes the skin smoother and softer and more voluminous. Okay, and you know, literally after Lumi Spaing, right, the skin radiates and it's a lot clearer, as can be seen from the pictures here, right? Even especially the nose area, right, you can see the dirt being unclogged. If you change the attachment and put on the accent, this now becomes a device for reducing dark circles and eye bags, puffiness, and wrinkles. Yeah. Well, the galvanic spa has a nickname. It's called the wrinkle iron. And I also say that it gives one a non-surgical facelift. If you look at this grandma over here, you can see the effect. Wrinkles ironed out and face really lifted, causing her to look decades younger on the side that she allowed her granddaughter to work on, right? And the galvanic current can also be used to tackle annoying problems like cellulite, stretch marks, and muffin tops. Change the attachment, use a serum called the neutral hair serum, and you can actually tackle a problem that men and women pay tens of thousands of dollars to tackle, which is hair loss. Okay. Yep. And last but not least, age lock. Oh no, this is not last. This is number 3. No, this guy over here is a robot, personalized skincare robot that gives you the precise dose of serum, day and night moisturizer that your skin needs. Okay, this is personalized or customized skincare that is very affordable. And that is why you can see the testimonials here. There's a distinct difference before and after. This is the newest kid on the block. It's called Age Lock Boost. Many of us have fallen in love with it because just 2 minutes a day, and we can see our skin being hydrated, you know, and the signs of aging being erased. As you can see here, May before and 4 weeks after, brighter, less pigmentation, smoother. Jeff even had his eyes lifted, pigmentation reduced, and his cheeks are filled. And we love this testimonial. This is Jackie before Boost in September 2020. Not bad for a 64-year-old, but she did look a bit tired, right, over here. But look at her, right, like after in March. This is a complete transformation, I would say. And so this is why we love Boost. So can you imagine when we have all this already and then liquid collagen is coming plus Meta, wow. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, James. Let me hand the time back to you.
Okay, thank you, Suan. Thank you very much. Okay, now it gives me great pleasure to have a millennial share. We've got Andrew Chua, who is going to be sharing his story. Now, Andrew was not born with a silver spoon. And so he looked into business and he actually ventured into business at age 19. He's tried many businesses. And to me, that represents a coveted education from the University of Hard Knocks. If you've been in business before, you know that. You will salute people like Andrew. Andrew is currently a sales manager with 6 years of sales experience and an online entrepreneur. Let me hand over the time to Andrew. Andrew, please.
Okay, thanks, James, for the fantastic introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew. Thank you for being here today with us. Very excited to share with you my story, my background, how I came about the business, and how has it been like so far. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me just make sure the slides work.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So I'm actually from an ordinary family in Singapore, like what James mentioned. Didn't born with a silver spoon as well. My mom's a waitress, and my dad actually used to run his own hawker business. But at the age of 13, right, when I was 13 years old, my dad had an injury, and because of the injury, right, he couldn't work anymore. So he had to shut down his business entirely. And because of that, right, our family actually went into financial difficulty. So as what you guys have heard about what James has mentioned, right, it is important to have a plan B or additional source of income. And back then, my dad didn't have that. And at a point of time, I still remember, right, because we are facing this financial difficulty, I had to, sell door-to-door ice cream at the age of 15. And I still remember one thing that, hits my heart dearly is I saw my grandmother, who is, 70 years old, and she had to come out to work in McDonald's just to support the family as well. Right. So that itself, right, kind of like, gave me an inspiration, that in the future, I told myself, I have to be my own boss so that I can provide my family a good life. Okay. And of course, with that goal and passion in mind, like what James mentioned, I started, my entrepreneurship journey at the age of 19. I, started this business together with one of my friends in school, someone I trusted a lot. And back then we were dealing with property investments. And at the age of 19, 20, I had some, success in life at a young age, but the money went out quickly as well. Why? Because we were all drinking every week, going to KTVs and things like that. So it wasn't meaningful, okay, to be honest. But after 3 years, little that we know, right, the business actually went bust as we trusted the wrong people, and the business actually ended up being a Ponzi scheme. Okay, so at the age of 21, right, I actually incurred a debt of about 20,000 USD, which I can still remember. So at a point of time, right, it was very stressful. And what I would say is I fell into a valley of despair. So in the past, right, those people who invested into our business projects, right, were hounding me for money every single day, hounding me, just giving me text. And I was receiving lawyers' letter every week. So if you were me, how would you feel? Right, it was a very stressful period. So at a point of time, I was desperate. I had to work and pay off my, debts bit by bit. So, when you are desperate and when you ask, God for a way out or the universe for a way out, right, he will usually send angels to you. And I want to share with you my turning point in 2016. I want to first borrow your hands, right, to thank my ex-girlfriend, Angie, who introduced me to this business, okay, New Skin business. So after working together with my, ex-girlfriend for a few years, she has become my wife. She has become my wife, right? So if you guys have a partner, okay, you can invite them to these sharing sessions as well. Okay, so I also like to thank my millionaire mentor, Hock Sing, who also showed me possibilities, in this business platform that I'm forever grateful of. So with a stroke of faith, right, I've been in the business for the past 4 years. And because of the system and the platform, right, it has put me out from what I say, the valley of despair, right, to, finding progress and fulfillment now. And the additional income from this business, right, actually helped me settle all my business debts that I used to have. And because at a point of time, I was in a very dark place, I was lost, I was scared, and I kind of lost faith in myself. And this business actually gave me a brand new purpose in life, okay, where I can build an amazing life with. So far, the journey has been nothing but amazing. So another thing that, that got me started was because of, the products and what Hwee has mentioned. And I believe health is wealth. Do you agree? Health is wealth, right? And with the amazing products, I've successfully transformed my health and habits, okay, inside out in just 90 days. As you can see from the pictures, I went from fat and flabby, right, to fit and frisky and a few more energetic now. So many people, right, they ask me, right, Andrew, why are you in a rush to go, do business or even make money at a young age? You're in your 20s, right? Why are you so in a rush? But to me, when I saw New Skin, right, it is more than money. Okay. Number one, right? I believe, okay, this business, right, from what I see, is built upon relationships. So with this business, from the principles that I've learned, right, it has brought me and my family closer. And of course, with the additional cash flow that we, earn from this business, it is able to improve the quality of our life. Like example, me and my wife, we paid, for our car, our upcoming wedding and renovation costs, okay, without touching our personal savings. And of course, the community, we get to surround ourselves, right, with like-minded people who holds you to your best standards. Unlike, when I was in corporate, right, when I'm in corporate, where people have to backstab you, there's a lot of politics. But in this business, there's no politics. We don't judge you. We don't have any prejudice. Okay, we are all here to help each other. And that is what I love. And last but not least, right, I see this business as a leadership development. I get to develop myself as a leader and not just a business person, okay, and not just being a boss, but rather becoming a better person for the people around me. So I want to end, right, by saying, okay, I truly see this business as a meaningful lifestyle business, because this business, the success is built upon helping other people achieve success. And we get to grow individually, we get to work as a team, we work hard, we play hard, and we celebrate success together. And I just want to end off by saying one of my goals, right, this year, okay, is to impact 1,000 people's lives, okay, through the vision that we have. So with that, I want to end my sharing. Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Thank you, Andrew. Fantastic. It wasn't that. Give him a hand, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay. We will have Andrew come and helm a whole business meeting next time. Okay. Let me get on as we come to a close of today's meeting. So we've talked about business. I now want to talk about what's beyond business. Okay. Anne Frank said, "No one has ever become poor by giving." So we've talked a lot about getting. Let's talk a bit about this aspect of giving. Okay. Suan mentioned our corporate social responsibility program, Nourish the Children. And our founder said it's 5% of what we do, but 95% of who we are. Okay. So far, we've given over 700 million meals to starving children. Okay. We have an opportunity to be ambassadors for this cause. Here's a picture of myself and my wife and I. We went to Malawi in 2012 to actually see the work and get involved in the work. And as Suan has mentioned, we have an opportunity to do good in different places. This was in Manila, Tondo, one of the poorest places in the world, okay, where we spent some time down there feeding the children. In Southeast Asia, there is a Southeast Asia Children's Heart Fund, okay, where distributors donate a percentage of their commission, and we pull it together and we perform heart surgeries. And so far, we performed 13,469 heart operations. Okay. Here's a picture of myself in Singapore and overseas as we go and do this work there. Okay. Now, I want to talk a bit about sustainability. Okay, that's become very important in this world today. So, in line with our mission to be a force for good throughout the world, New Skin has made sustainability an integral part of our business practice. We look at the impact that we have on the planet to ensure that the footprint that we leave in everything is a green one. We are responsibly sourcing ingredients, reducing our carbon footprint, or utilizing more environmentally friendly packaging. This is a real deliberate effort to do that. Okay. I want to say at this point in time also that life's not all about money. Okay, this book, The 100-Year Life, okay, is written by a psychologist and an economist. Okay, the economist is there because, as I mentioned, if you're going to live for 100 years, it's a wake-up call, because how are you going to have enough money to last 100 years? But the psychologist here, Linda Grattan, comes to give us a clear demonstration that a 100-year life can be a wonderful and inspiring one. It's like you got this, long vacation that you're looking forward to. Okay. Now, Andrew Scott was actually in Singapore in 2019, November 2019, and he talked about how to live long and prosper. Okay. And he said, with more people are living to 100 years old with so much more time on our hands, how do we make the best of our lives? Now, when we started this conversation this evening, we were talking about how to survive. Okay. How can we make the best of our lives now? He says, while it means investing in your finances, it also means investing in your health, your relationships, your skills, as well as your sense of engagement and purpose. Because and I chose this icon to represent a mind that's still fully active, creative, different colors, interesting, exciting. Okay. And Iris Apfel, a 92-year-old fashion icon, says, I see myself as the world's oldest living teenager because I have such a good time, because I try to get as much of a kick out of things as possible. Now, guys, you may be 20 now, but one day you'll be 30. I guarantee you in 10 years' time, you'll be 40. And I guarantee you in another 10 years' time, you'll be 50. And, as you go on, you want to be like Iris Apfel. Okay. Now, just a quick sharing from Forbes. Okay, so Forbes is a serious business magazine. And so it examined multi-level marketing companies for retirement income. But in this article, the author says it's not just about money. He says, not to mention helping people see the importance of planning for the non-financial aspects of retirement, such as replacing a work identity, staying relevant and connected, as well as keeping mentally and physically fit. In the same article, Daria Brzezinski, a practicing psychologist, says, many people don't realize that multi-level marketing companies are successful because they help people satisfy a number of important human needs, including feeling significant, having connections, learning something new, and making a difference. I've heard people in network marketing say again and again, I'm doing this because I'm meeting amazing people, making so many connections, and I feel so good about myself. So at this point, I want to invite back Suan, okay, to share about her Nu Skin journey. Now, let me formally introduce Suan. Okay, you saw her earlier. She's not just a pretty face. In fact, when I met Suan, she was a super skill officer, with a stat board. Okay, Suan's got 2 master's degrees: a master's degree in information and library science, and a master's degree in mass communications. I'll pass the time over to you, Suan.
Okay, thank you, James. Yep. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have entitled this segment of my sharing a dream business. Okay, so what makes me dare to call this a dream business? So let me just quickly share with you my story. So I started in the year 2004, and at that time there was no apparent reason for me to go moonlighting. I had just been promoted to the super scale in the civil service. I bought my own freehold condo. I got my new car. My parents here, they are enjoying life. They are healthy. They are happy. And even as a single mom, looking after my son then, I was also very settled. My son was very settled in school and doing pretty well. So, my life was kind of like running on this even keel, right? When I met Dr. James Chia, and he did manage to get my armpits very wet because we started talking about this issue called retirement. And thanks to him, right, I came face to face with, with the fact that I was going to be part of this sandwich generation in very, very short time. And then, when I retire, because I was going to be sandwiched between the needs of my parents and my son, right, I might not have enough money upon retirement. And so these golden years may not be very golden. And then this fear of job loss. As a sole breadwinner and having no plan B is such a precarious situation. I look outside my door, my team members, they were all actually much younger, much cleverer, much prettier, and they're much cheaper to hire. So I was like thinking, oh gosh, I better do a plan B for myself. And then there's this last fear that I couldn't even utter to anyone, and it was the fear of growing old, being lonely and sickly. As a typical career mother, I had no time to actually nurture any friendships or have much of a social life. I didn't exercise and didn't do much. So I figured, when I grow old, I may not have many friends around me. So I said, okay, never mind. Let's just tackle the money part first. So I started Nu Skin business when my son was about 11. And I started because of the simple word called leverage. And I was very excited that I could have a leverage income. So this extra income came in very useful, even though I was on part-time, right? 2 years after I started, my mom had a stroke. And then I started to feel, you know, the weight of that sandwich, right, coming down because medical bills, therapy bills. I got to hire a helper. Okay. So 4 years after I started the business, I actually decided to go full-time. By then, I realized that there was something that's even more important than just money, and that is time. I didn't want to miss out on time with my son while he was still staying underneath my roof. I didn't want to miss time with my parents while they still had time and health to enjoy life. And then back in 20, well, can't remember which year, but my son grew up, of course, and he did well enough to get a place in Oxford. And what is the mother's decision? Yes, I sent him there. He graduated in 2018 with a first class honors degree. And I always pause here to tell people that, you know, if I hadn't started the new skin business back in 2004, I don't think this picture would have come about. This graduation would have happened because as a single mom, sole breadwinner, I wouldn't want to spend my retirement funds, no matter how much I love my son, on his education in Oxford because I really would not have enough at retirement. If there was no money coming in every month, this decision would not have come about. Well, time with my parents was not top of my mind in 2004, but in the blink, they have grown older, much more frail, and I'm so glad that, you know, I've got all this time to spend with them. Ordinary times at home, hanging out around Singapore because they don't travel very much anymore. And then, you know, when they need to go for medical checkups, I'm there. And when my dad decided to be a baker, I was there to help him and be part of his hobby. Yeah. And remember the last year being lonely, sickly, when I grow old? Well, thank God I found many new friends in New Skin, people who like to play and have fun. This is us in Paradise Valley, Montana. Spent a week at this lovely ranch with the mountains and the rivers running through and like totally doing nothing. New Skin took us places. This is Turkey and then to Japan, amongst other places. Most memorable trip was in 2016 when we had a European cruise. I brought my brother along. All expenses paid, me and my brother, paid by New Skin. And then later, after the trip, we went to Oxford to see my son and spend time with him. Yeah. Okay, so I also have my own health transformation. Something else I did not expect, that I would lose weight, find new shape, and find new fitness. And also new boldness, because in my 50s, I started mountain climbing. This is my first mountain back in 2015, together with James and Jackie, my sponsors in the business. This is a 5,000-meter mountain in China. Next, 2016, I went to the highest mountain in Africa, which is called the Kilimanjaro at 5,895 meters. You must know that before this, I was very much a couch potato. So this is quite an amazing transformation. And the highest mountain I ever climbed, it's not a mountain, it's a hill. It's called Bukit Timah Hill. Okay, so that's 164 meters. But this is Kilimanjaro at 5,895. I had the honor to also be there with James's entire family. And this is Nepal in 2018. Then highest mountain in Scotland with my son, 2018 after his graduation. The Jade Mountain, the highest in Taiwan, and the largest caves in the world in central Vietnam called the Sondong. And this unfortunately was my last mountain climb before COVID. It's the highest mountain in Europe called the Mount Elbrus. It's situated in Russia, the snow-covered mountain. And then to Yosemite Park in October 2019. So in between Yosemite and Elbrus, I got a book done. This is called Mind Matters. So another dream come true. And this is a picture of the book launch, end of 2019. So in a very short period of time, I'm just sharing my story. I'm a girl who came in, you know, really for just like $2,000 recurring when I retire. So we call that an annuity. And then I found immunity, right, which is a new level of health and fitness I never thought was possible for an aging person. And I think last but not least is the community that I now call my partners in this business, in a community which allows me to grow and to discover the very best me as the years go by. So with that, I stop share and I hand the time back to James.
Thank you, Suan. It's just been an amazing job that you've done sharing all these things in such a short time. But I think we get a glimpse of what this business has done for you. Okay, and it's just amazing. Okay, let me just complete by by saying that really we've been talking about freedom. We all seek freedom. It's financial freedom that we seek. We look for time freedom, flexibility. We want health, be able to move around because we are healthy, and then of course the youthfulness, the relevance as we age, and then the relationships. Important to have powerful or meaningful relationships, and that's freedom to me. Okay. Let me just share with you New Skin's mission. Okay, is to be a force for good throughout the world by empowering people to improve lives with rewarding business opportunities, innovative products, and an enriching, uplifting culture. The experience of many people as they get involved in this business is that they will discover the best of themselves. Okay. So the last B I have is the word begin. Okay, we need to start. Starting is critical in a leadership journey. The two bookends of success, and that's starting and finishing. Okay. So take action now. Okay, sign up. Okay, because it's free. Get to use the products. You've got products from top to toe, inside out. Get training on business, training on leadership, on social media, how to use social media, and then qualify for the success trips that come. The next success trip is in Moscow. I think Moscow could be safe in 2022. That'll be an exciting time. Okay. And I will just leave you with the last thing. Okay, what's the risk of doing versus the risks of not doing? Okay, I've been using this question all the time to my clients, clients in financial planning, and also clients as I coach them in life. What's the risk of doing versus the risk of not doing? Come discover the best you. Well, that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for being here, and I'll hand the time back to Suan.
Yes. That was the question James asked me years ago. What is the risk of doing versus the risk of not doing? And if today you are thinking of, interesting, I think this could be for me, quickly take action, okay? Because that's probably, the blink decisions are the ones that I think are the right ones normally. So talk to the friend who invited you, have a good discussion, and we'll see you soon, as part of our team. Thank you very much and good night. James, you can stop recording.